Hi, I'm Nicole Jones, and this is a presentation on the study that was done on the recent fish deaths that are being observed. The suspected cause is ammonia. That is the toxic that was identified, and we will go into more explanation on the processes that are occurring and what can be done about them. So, like I stated, the toxic chemical that is suspected in the fish deaths that are being observed is ammonia. Ammonia belongs to the functional group amines. It is made up of 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen molecules. Amines are created from the breakdown of proteins and often have foul smells. The toxin source is ammonia, which is a major component used in fertilizers and is found in animal waste. It enters the waterways by runoffs from pastures and croplands. It is also hydrophilic and is easily dissolved in water from NH3 gas in the air. Nitrogen in the soil and water also can create ammonia through nitrogen fixation. This flow chart shows more in depth the way that ammonia is entering the waterways as well as how it is affecting the fish population. So like I stated earlier, the agricultural component is big, but also discharge from aquaculture and operations and hatcheries, groundwater and stormwater runoff from urbanization and industries, also a way that increased ammonia inputs can be happening. Also changes in watershed vegetation will decrease nitrogen uptake, which will increase ammonia inputs. So these changes will increase ammonia in water and sediment, which will increase the amount of ionized as well as unionized ammonia. And this is also affected by changes in pH. So pH really affects the ionization or the unionization of ammonia. And these fluctuations of ionized and unionized ammonia will affect the fish, which results in decreased condition, decreased growth, changes in behavior, increased susceptibility to other stressors like disease or heat changes, which results in increased mortality, decreased reproductive success, which is changes in population and community structure, as well as changes in the ecosystem processes, which we are seeing with the increase in the fish deaths. So ammonia as a byproduct is present in most organisms that metabolize protein, including fish themselves. The high levels of ammonia in the water make it difficult for the fish to expel the ammonia that's already in their systems through the metabolization of protein. So ammonia is hydrophilic, so it needs transport across the cell membranes of fish, and much research supports the theory that Rh glycoproteins as well as HTPase and Na plus and potassium or K plus ATPase assist in the transport of ammonia across the cell membranes of fish. It was thought before that it was a passive diffusion, how ammonia was excreted. However, research by Wilkie has shown that the Rh glycoproteins play a big role, as well as the sodium and potassium ATPase. Water temperatures and pH affect the ionization of ammonia. Ionized ammonia is not toxic to fish, however, unionized ammonia is very toxic to fish. This shows that this is the freshwater fish. There's also, seawater is a little bit different with the sodium. However, I'm focusing more on the freshwater fish. As you can see, the Rh glycoproteins really help and show the process of the NH3 being able to cross the gill epithelium into the gill water, and how the sodium coming in and the ATPase helping the NH4 break down and cross over, changing in between the NH3 to NH4 and combining also to with that hydrogen on the other side to help the ammonia cross over the gill epithelium. So there's two different, or actually quite a few different processes happening there with this exchange of the hydrogen in the gill epithelium with those ATPase. So as before, the pH in water increases, unionized ammonia in the water increases, creating a toxic environment for fish. As water temperatures increase, the toxicity of ammonia to fish also increases. So respiration will become inhibited due to high levels of ammonia in the water, impairing the effective diffusion gradient of ammonia in the water from the lungs. When the fish are unable to expel the ammonia from their gills, there's the buildup causing the tissue damage, seizures, and death. Research reports specific effects of those high levels include gill damage, organ damage, stress, hyperexcitability, seizures, and the ultimate eventual death. Protein is metabolized, which creates ammonia. The mitochondria in the liver cells of some fish do catabolize ammonia into urea, or the gills of the fish, which excrete the ammonia. But some fish do metabolize it, or do metabolize part of it and excrete it through urea. If fish are not able to expel the ammonia, it will build up in the body of the fish, affecting the tissues in the gills, the mitochondria in the liver cells, and also the brain cells of the fish. More specifically, the EPA talks about the specific toxic actions of unionized ammonia, which are due to the proliferation in the gill tissues, which causes increased ventilation rates and damages the gill epithelium. There's also reduction in blood oxygen carrying capacity due to progressive acidosis. There's also uncoupling oxidative phosphorylation, causing inhibition of production and depletion of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, in the brain, which is basically saying that the mitochondria's production of ATP is impaired, which inhibits the production and depletes adenosine triphosphate, which is needed for the brain for neural impulses. So that whole system just gets disrupted. And that there is a disruption of the normal metabolic functions of the liver and the kidneys. Fish use the Rh glycoproteins and the sodium potassium ATPase to excrete the ammonia across the gill epithelium, as I've already addressed. However, some fish do use that carbamoyl phosphate synthase to break down ammonia, and the CPS gene codes for enzymes. CPS is controlled by N-acetylglutamate, which activates CPS, and glutamine synthase is also important in the metabolization of ammonia. Ammonia also activates phosphofructokinase in the cytosol of fish, which disrupts the function of the mitochondria again and impairs energy metabolism. It also is suspected that ammonia interferes with the ion exchange in the brain of fish, causing the astrocyte swelling and death. So a lot of ion disruptions is what really happens with that ionized potassium, causing lots of breakdowns in the mitochondria and the overall function of the metabolization of the ammonia. So the effects of high ammonia levels on humans. Ammonia in waters most likely will not affect humans unless they ingest the water. Long-term effects of consuming water containing high-level ammonia may cause organ and tissue damages in humans. There is no specific data on the metabolism of ingested ammonia on humans. However, studies in rats have shown that ammonia is almost entirely metabolized by the liver and excreted through the kidneys within 3 days. Damage due to sustained exposure is only suspected. It is not, in fact, proven at this point. However, if you do have compromised liver and kidneys, I would suspect that you wouldn't be able to excrete it, so you would have, it would be toxic to you. So if you have compromised liver or kidney function, then I would think that you would be concerned and would look for alternative sources of water to drink. So how this occurred: nitrogen and ammonia are naturally occurring in our environment and dissolve in the water from air and soil sources. Climate change is raising water temperatures. Fertilizers are creating issues of eutrophication and raising ammonia levels in water. Runoff from agricultural lands and feedlots increase ammonia levels in the waterways. And all these factors lend themselves to creating a toxic environment for fish. What we can do and how we fix it is to stop the problem by identifying and eliminating the source of the ammonia pollution. So reducing excessive fertilizers, eliminating runoff from feedlots, eliminating discharge sources from urbanization products and industry operations, eliminate discharge into waterways from hatcheries or aquaculture operations, and reduce greenhouse gases causing higher water temperatures. If we can do our best to eliminate these sources, then hopefully we can eliminate the ammonia in the water, and the balance can be restored and the fish population can bounce back from the damage that has been caused by the large amount of ammonia that has been inputted into the system. So thank you very much, and that is all.